dude.
That's so crazy that you say that about the inspiration too, because you've been like kind of credited with bringing a lot of this like freestyle BMX, you know, you solidified like those tricks and you kind of brought that whole era and look. Is that where you got all the inspiration from, those guys?
To be honest with you, I really liked BMX. As a kid, I always wanted to race BMX, and my dad was like, dude, you're a motocross racer. You know, like you go to the track with me every day to go practice 2 35-minute motos, load up, go home, get your homework done, eat, and go to bed. Like literally that was my life for a long time. And I kept bugging him so much about going BMX racing. We were living in Corona, and I remember this day where my dad probably was just sick of hearing me say I want to race BMX, and we pulled up to Norco BMX track. He literally parks right at the front gate. We're watching, and we just sit there. We didn't even get out of the car. We're probably there for 15 minutes, and he looks at me, and he's like, there's no way I'm going to let you go out and do one lap at a time on a bicycle track when I can take you to the motocross track, do 2 35-minute motos, get worn out, go home, and go to bed, do it over again like that. And that's my dad. He's hardcore motocross. Like he started racing motocross living in Huntington Beach, you know, just out of high school, I think. And then he got hurt really bad when, you know, technology wasn't that good as far as getting surgery, broke his back. And then later on had me, and then started taking me to Barone Oaks all the time, Corona Raceway, De Anza. And then I remember my dad getting hurt really bad because he was racing during me growing up racing too. And at Barone Oaks, he shattered his right wrist super bad. And I just remember, like, you know, driving home in a motorhome with him. He's going into shock. And then after that, he kind of slowed down because they did surgery on it. His wrist is like all tweaked and bent still. Has a hard time holding on. But yeah, just those memories of like it's motocross. And I even look back too, where like I love road racing. And literally like back when I was a kid, the cool thing was satellite dish. You know, everybody had a satellite dish with 1,000 channels. And I remember sitting there and always looking for MotoGP. Dudes riding a road race bike 200 miles an hour. And that's probably even funner for me is to go haul ass as fast as I can push a bike on the asphalt than jumping. I love hauling ass. And that's what the fun thing about riding downhill mountain bikes and just recently getting back into road racing on a bagger. I just love seeing what I can do and push the limits of the bike at speed. Matter of fact, I asked the dude from Stark the other day what it would take to take a Stark electric bike and push the batteries in the motor to go like 200 miles an hour so I could go out on a road race track and see if I could supermoto and do like 100-yard slides on a supermoto.
Be so sick.
It'd be so amazing.
Yeah.
Against a
and if
road
you're thinking
race
about
bike,
it, you know you can do it.
for sure.
Like that's
for
like
sure. No, I dream of it. Like just being able to push that bike 200 miles an hour and know like I'm hitting my braking points and I'm doing a 2-wheel drift into the next turn. And if there was a motocross supermoto style bike like that, it would be so much easier to get around a track than a 300 plus road race bike. I think it would, and you could make a sport out of that.
yeah,
like,
it'd be sick.
that's
We got to
like-
get Tony Stark to do it up.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
We had the founder of Stark in here, and Twitch brought him in, and we were talking about how fast those things go. But the fact that you wanted to go faster, I almost died on one. So I can't imagine how much faster.
You rode it at 80 horsepower, yeah?
Yeah. When I went out last year at the beginning of 2024, before I started hitting the X Games ramp with Raha, he had 2 of them. We're ripping the streets of Colton.
I saw that.
And I'd be cruising just like, he had it in 80 horsepower because I told him I wanted to try it. And I'd just be cruising 60 miles an hour and I'd drop throttle. And next thing I know, I'm like way forward on the bike and it would not stop laying rubber until I backed off the throttle.
It just spins, right?
It just spins. And like you just keep it balanced and it will not stop burning rubber. You're just going.
I did the same thing coming down 79 right there by Vale Lake. I went out trail riding one day and I was like, hey, Ritter, I'm like, put this thing on 80 horsepower. And we're going. And I'm probably, we were riding all the trails and we jump back on the road. And I'm like, I'm probably doing like 30, 40 miles an hour already. And I'm like, oh, I clicked the button, put it in 80 and I just gassed it. dude, I swear to God, I laid a burnout down at least 100, 200 yards. Like,
Right?
and then I'm just,
keeps going.
and then it finally caught traction and I'm just tucked, like going as fast as I can. And it's just so quiet. All you hear is the wind. And I'm like, man, if something happens right now, I'm gonna get really fucked up. Like,
Did you have full gear on?
Yeah, I had moto gear on,
okay.
but I was still thinking, I'm like, if I go sliding on the asphalt right now, this is really gonna hurt.